he's having a good old... Ah, you fucker! That really hurts! I'm not joking. He's got me good.
Oh no.
Fucking hell! Whew! God, that fucking killed! You fucker! Ow! Yeah, I'm just gonna walk in slowly. Sorry mate, but I'm not into that. The cat's like, what the fuck is that thing? Don't ever nibble again. Don't nibble me. Don't eat the curtain.
We've got our own car wash. See you later.
Cheers then.
Everyone loves a smiley face.
Go on then.
I can't do it.
Say
It's
anything.
really hard. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Just tell them about the van.
Oh! This is the van. This is the front of the van. I can't do it though.
It's your idea.
I know! This is a terrible idea. Don't look at me!
Okay.
Okay, so this is the front of the van. Here we've got some storage, which we find quite handy. We actually just chuck stuff in it. Start that one again. Yeah, we just keep leads and wires and just crap basically. Probably needs a sort through, but what is this?
I need to wire that up.
Need to wire that up. So yeah, keep stuff like that in. In here we've got some extra storage as well. So in here we chuck phones in and stuff when we're driving, or little bits and bobs, and a switch, which...
I need to wire that up.
Does that go with that wire?
No.
Right. Bet it does. What's it do?
Don't worry about it.
Cool. So we'll put the switch back in there. Got some cup holders here, which are handy for when we're driving. Doesn't quite fit an actual cup in there, which is a bit... when I'm having a cup of tea. In here we've got a glove box with extra storage. Again, this at the moment is just filled with rubbish. But it will get organised, it will get sorted, and probably made better space. We've got side pockets here in the doors and little things in there. I don't actually know what you put in there, but maybe a hand or something, I don't know. We've got a rear facing camera, which is a little rubbish, but we're going to upgrade it, I think. We hope to get an Apple CarPlay unit in here. That's something that we don't need desperately, but would be handy for travels, especially when we go across Europe. Hopefully, that'll be really nice. We do have some extra storage, I think, here, which has money in it. It was a cigarette ashtray thing, but yeah, I don't smoke. And I believe just down the front there, is there another compartment?
No.
There isn't another compartment.
No.
So at the front we use this extension. We were using a standard double one, which we found kept breaking, and it was really frustrating because when we're on the road, we need to be charging stuff, and if it's broken, it ain't charging. So we found this one, which is a something. It's definitely something.
What?
This, what is it?
Well, it has a readout on it that tells you what your voltage for your battery is.
Oh, so when you start it up, it tells you what it is.
And that lead goes to here.
Which has 3 more points, which you can charge different things in. So for instance, we've got an extension which will charge a laptop. It will also charge the little Hoover that we've got as well, which is just handy when you're driving. It's extra power that you get that's not taken from the leisure batteries, which is quite cool. And then we've got 2 USB ports here, which is handy for driving, for your phone and stuff, all the wires. You don't realise how many wires you have until you're in a camper van, but they are so handy, and it just keeps us, keeps us ticking over. At the front at the moment, we mainly use this for muddy shoes and stuff, because we try not to get any mud in the van. But as you can see, 2 shoes make excellent bottle holders. But yes, it does. A lot of the stuff at the front is actually written in Japanese, so we've tried deciphering a lot of it. it gives some crazy things. And we had to get the this part changed actually, didn't we? This part, because this was all in kilometers and it was really weird, so yeah, we had to change that. From the front here, you've got what we use a lot. Open the curtains and then we can get some heat through to the back, because it does get a little chilly in here. And you've got rear heat here, which will turn the heating on around the back, and also our 4-wheel drive switch, which we'll put in for when we're going across some terrain at some point, which around Cornwall is quite a bit of it. We recently went to the Elan Valleys, I always say that wrong.
Ellen Valley,
and yeah, it was super handy because the road was insane. It was so bumpy. I wasn't very well. It was probably the worst time to have done that, but we made it through and the van is still here, so that's cool. Other than that, I think that's about it for the front.
Cool.
Hey everyone, this is our Toyota Hiace 1995 home. It's our home on wheels. Okay, so I'll take you a little tour around the van. It's a 2.8 litre diesel 4-wheel drive. Here you've got the 4-wheel drive thing. Basically you lock it in and it will put it into 4-wheel drive. You click the button and off it goes. And yeah, it takes us on some crazy terrain. We've got some crazy Japanese stickers all over the van as well, which you'll notice. So if you come around here, this is where we fill up with fuel, which is quite good on fuel to be fair, not too bad. This is a vent, which is very good. Here you've got the reversing mirror, and the reversing camera is quite old. We do want to replace it because it is quite handy, but for a minute it'll do. Keeps us going. Don't hit many things. Here is our mains electrical hookup point as well. So if we were staying on a on a campsite or anything like that, this is where we plug in. We don't tend to use it, but it is still handy, and it won't shut. There we go. And this is another vent. This is the extractor for the bathroom. This is our vent for our freezer, and this here is where we fill up with water. Makes funny noises when you fill it up. It's quite cool. And if you come around here, this is the intake for the engine. It is not a vent. And yeah, it keeps the engine nice and cool. And that's it, that's our home. Go any further, I'm going to introduce you to our camping buddy. This is Millie Cat. Hey. He comes on all of our travels that we plan to do, ones that we've done. He was a house cat, a bit of an outdoor cat. He's quite old now, he's 14, so yeah, he doesn't mind. He likes going on the journeys and looking at all the birds and stuff, don't you? Say hi. He's like, nope. Anyway, we'll carry on. So this here is, this is actually our bed as well as our living areas. This does click back for when we want to go to bed, so I'll show you how that works. So it's literally, you pull it forward and then it will recline all the way back, and that creates the first part of the bed. We have extra cushions as well, which make up the bed here, which I will show you a bit down at some point. And then this whole area becomes the bed. This part here is actually another bed, so this actually sleeps 4. However, we did try it, it's not the comfiest. We would have to get a mattress, and at the moment it's actually served us as quite a good storage area. As you can see, we've got the sleeping bag up there, and we keep any laptops, anything like that up the top, and anything that's quite big and bulky will go up there. We did recently go on a trip with our good friend Dan, and he slept up here, and he had all this to himself, which is pretty cool. So here we've got drawers, which there's never enough storage in a van, even though we've downsized massively. So we keep in here different things like medicines, we keep tools in the drawer, and anything that you need that could get lost quite quickly, because even though you're in this tiny space, you still lose stuff every day. In here, this is a cupboard. We were going to get rid of it, but actually we flip it over and we can put our shoes in there, which is quite good because there's not many places you can put shoes. We do put them on the steps sometimes, but it does get very muddy, so we try and just pop everything in here. Here we have got a, I think it's still the original light, which we do want to change, but it is quite handy for when you're getting into the van and just want to see before you switch all the mains on. Here is the rear air conditioning unit, which you can switch on from the front of the van. This is going to be really good in the summer because vans do get quite hot. So to be able to have this feature in here is quite a luxury, really. We've also got along here this rail, which we don't actually know what it's for, but we found it to be very handy. We've put LED lights on it. It's quite nice over Christmas because we had stuff hanging off of it, and also we can hang certain things up here as well. I don't know why it's there. I'd like to know, but I don't know. Every motorhome should have one of these, which is a carbon monoxide detector. Very important, as you don't want to be. You don't want a bad headache. This side here is it's a blind with a window, but the window doesn't actually open anymore. So we keep that closed mainly just to keep the van warm because it gets quite chilly. And it's also got a mesh here to stop any flies in if it did open. And we've still got the crazy little hooks that the Japanese put on there, and yeah, we just look how little kitties on stuff. This side here does opens quite widely and is nice when we're cooking. There is an extractor fan here, but we tend to just keep this window open, and open one of these windows and you get a good bit of ventilation going on. Again, it closes like that, and it also has a fly screen here, so if it is summer and you do have bugs and stuff, you can literally just have that and they stay away, which is good. When we moved into this van, we had just normal windows on here, and it wasn't very private. You can close the windows, but we want to try and be as nomadic as physically possible and as stealth as we physically can. So we got the windows tinted, which turned out to be a really good idea because you really can't see through them very well. So I like that. Windows here just click in and slide across like that, which is nice because when you've got all these gorgeous views around you, you get to wake up whilst you're still in bed, nice and toasty, cat saying hello, and you can just, you're right in it, which sets you down quite nicely. And then goes back up like that. In here we've got extra storage in here, so this bed actually flips, it flips over, so if you're going travelling and you're bringing someone with you, you can flip it over. It's got seat belts in and it turns into 4 seats or 5 seats, whichever way you see it. Under here this does tip up, and there is a storage compartment there where Dan has all his clothes, and yeah, we don't actually use a lot of the clothes in there, so we've got to downsize again. This side here, if I just move the pillows over, this part makes up the bed, so this will be a part of the bed, but under here is where we have the leisure batteries and various bits and bobs, and an amazing torch which Dan's brother got us for Christmas, and it's so handy. It's got lots of cool features on. Yeah, so we use that quite a bit. And in here we just keep additional bits and bobs that are quite finicky. In here we've got our fuse and a fuse box as well, which we don't tend to fiddle with, but it is there if something goes. I don't really know, but it's there. Here we have another light if we need it. Again, it's not very energy efficient, so we do want to change all the fascias and the lighting of this, make it LED, because it does drain a lot of the battery, so we tend not to have these on. Instead we have on these little lights, which we put up for Christmas, and they're not coming down. They create such a nice atmosphere in the van. It's very soft lighting. We will show you this in a picture or something so you can see how nice it is. It's not blinding, and they're very soft, and you can still see and do things, which is good. Here we've got the thermostat. So we're very lucky in this van to have diesel heating, which honestly has been an absolute godsend. We had an issue where the glow plug went on it, but it was a very easy fix, and the guys where we actually got the van from fixed it for us, and it pretty much saved us over the time when it was freezing, because it was freezing. So Works pretty much like anything at home. You'll set it to your degrees that you want, so 30 degrees or 20 degrees. The diesel heater will keep it going until it reaches that, then it will turn itself off, and when it drops to a certain level it will just start itself again, which just keeps us nice and toasty. So yeah, that's good. So here on this side we have a cat. It came with the van. We can't get rid of it, but it's alright, it's a feature we do use, so and you're cuddly, aren't you? So yeah, we'll keep you. Yeah. Anyway, put you there. He likes to get anywhere where you are, so if you make the bed, he gets in the bed where you are, don't you? And you're a big old boy. Yeah, anyway. This, I know this isn't, and it did not come with a van, but it's the best little cheese grater in the whole wide world. Dan's mum actually got it us for Christmas, and we thought it was a bit novelty, but it's literally amazing. It does grate cheese really, really well, so I keep that there because we do use it quite a lot. Here we've got, it's just a little hook. We don't actually know what it does, what it's attached to, but we keep like little games and stuff here that we play for when we're on the road, and they never fly out, which we don't know how, we don't know why, but yeah, we just keep stuff there. So on this side we've got little hooks as well, which we just kind of attach tea towels to, and these are so handy in a van. So again, we got this for Christmas off Dan's brother, and it basically, it's like silicone, so it gets rid of all the rubbish in the pan, like all the liquid and stuff like that. So it's really, really handy, because when you're washing up, you don't want to use as much water, so if there's less stuff in the pan, easier to clean out. Here we've got storage. We've also got a Blade Runner poster, which it was in the house, and Dan didn't want it. He was like, where can I put this? He's like, I really want it in the van. And yeah, he just slot it in, it fit, it's not stuck in with anything, and it never falls out. So again, that's staying. There's a very 80s sort of van going on here. This is just a little, well, you can hold stuff on it. We just hook it over the door, and we just hold tea towels on it, which is handy, and you can move it around if you wish to. The cupboards lock by pushing in and then pushing out, and it releases it, and it will open the door, and it stops everything flying about, which again, you don't want flying around in your van. In here we've just got general bits and bobs, pastas, foods, foils, oils, pepper, things like that. We don't actually keep a lot of food in the van because the fridge takes up quite a lot of power, so we tend to buy fresh pretty much every day or every other day, which means we don't have to power the fridge as much as we want to. But if we were going somewhere hot, we'd probably look at getting different batteries so we can support doing that. We added a kind of makeshift shelf in here just to add a bit more storage for the things that you need more of the time, like foil, because that can get lost in there. God knows how a bit does. So yeah, that's that one. In here, so if I take this tea towel off a minute so you can see, in here we have our pots and pans, and we do have a fire extinguisher just in the side there. Very important to have one of those as well. But yeah, we just keep most of our stuff in here. We've got a steamer, which is amazing, and thanks to B and Theo, the indie projects, they told us about a little ridge monkey, which is amazing. I love it. It's my favourite thing in the whole wide world. I still haven't cooked everything in there yet, so we'll see what we can cook in there. So that's that one. And this is where you do the van shuffle. And I'm going to have to shut the door, show you the other cupboards. Let's see. So in this cupboard here, this one is where we keep our cat food and we keep our gas bottle in there. We figured our gas bottle, it cost, I think it was like £65 to buy originally, and then it's £16 every 3 months. It's really, really, really efficient, and it's quite easy to change, even though I haven't actually changed it yet because it scares me. Dan changes that and it's very easy. We always have 3 large water bottles here. You do get through quite a lot of water in the van as well, so we have 3 here and we have 3 in the bathroom, and we'll alternate them and then fill them. And yeah, and other than that, we've got a water draining kind of like bucket or something under there for the water that we use in this sink, but we don't actually use the sink, so I'll explain more in a minute. We've found a technique and it works. In this top cupboard here, this is where we keep things like plates, strainers, a toaster, which is amazing when you're in a van. It's so good. It collapses down and you can just kind of keep it there, so easy to reach. Cutlery, we keep our cups here, and we keep tea, well, hot chocolate, coffee, and things that we grab quite a lot and frequent. We built this shelf in here just to add an extra bit of shelving and storage, because it all makes a difference. It does. So that's that one. And then in here, let's get tight. So in this cupboard here, this is where I keep all the herbs and spices, because I do like cooking quite a lot. So Millie's going to try and get in there. You can't get in there. I keep the tea bags in there, and I keep washing detergent and laundry detergent for when I go to the laundrette, and it stops it flying about. That is also where the diesel heater is, and where it heats the water. How our water heats is by when we drive, so we don't have anything extra to actually make that work. We don't know, again, we don't know how it works. It's like a mystical, magical van, but you can drive literally 5 minutes down the road and you'll have scalding hot water, and it's great for showers because we have a bathroom, which is quite nice. In here, we used to have a microwave. We asked for it to be fitted when we got the van, however, we never used it, not once, and it was just a big waste of space. So yeah, we had that took out, and we've just got bits and bobs, which again, more leads and wires. We've got things so we can actually plug stuff in for when we're on the go, and I've got a bucket full of candles. I like a candle. Yes, so we keep those up there in easy reach. We've got some cookbooks and normal books up here. There is 2 more volts, ports up here for charging things. So this is how we run our LED lights, and this is where we can charge our phone and stuff, which we only found when we took the microwave out. So I'm glad we did take it out, because we would have never have known they were there, and we would have had to have charged everything from the front. So that would have been a bit rubbish. Here is our diesel heater. So this works by literally just clicking it. Sometimes it'll take a couple of clicks to go on, but when it shows a solid light like that, it will just kick in, and it will come from underneath the seat here. And it is so surprising how hot it gets. It gets so hot. The cat loves it, don't you? Whenever it goes on, he kind of is around this area. He don't go far, do you? No. So yeah, I might keep that on a minute because it's so cold. Here is our water gauge. So we weren't sure if this was working, but we actually think it is working now. So this is the control panel here, so this is for your water. So that will turn that on and start moving it down. This will show how much water is actually in the tank. Before it would only stay up here, but now it seems to be going down, so we think it's working, so that's good. This is where we can test our battery for when we are plugged in by the mains, or when we are not, when we're just running off the leisure battery. So by clicking that in, it will let us know if the battery is low, fair or good. So at the moment we're good, which is always good. We like having a battery, nothing worse than not having a battery. This one here, this does the extractor fan in the bathroom. This one here is for our fridge. This one here is for our lights, which is the bathroom lights as well, and the extractor fan, I believe, up here. I don't know what that one does.
That one.
Oh, that one does that light over there, and then that one does the, I think, the light in the bathroom. Something like that, anyway. You'll know by clicking them which one, because something will come on. The worst part of this was when we got into the van, it's all written in Japanese, so we were like, what does any of this do? What is this? This part here is what turns everything off and on. So this will turn the whole back off, so we're not running off the battery at all. So we keep this off as much as we can. I forget sometimes. Anyway, yeah, so that'll make our lights work. And here we've got the on-off for the fridge as well, which again, we don't tend to have on at the moment. We have it. We have talked about getting rid of it. However, if we're going to go travelling, to have the facility to have frozen and cold stuff and all that is really good. If we're driving, we'll have it on for a bit just to cool things down. We tend to keep just sauces, butter, things like that, and they're fresh stuff. Like I said, we'll buy it on the day, and yeah, we'll obviously eat on the day. It's a 2-way fridge, so it will run off the mains, and it will also run off the leisure battery as well, which is quite good. And this gets so cold, it really does. It does what it says on the tin. So I'm pretty pleased with that. When it shuts, it's got a little pin in here, and that's just to stop the door flying about, because there's nothing worse than when you start driving to having things flapping about, especially the bathroom door, which we forget to shut all the time. So on to the bathroom. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, but we kind of manage. It's when you move out of a house and you move into a much smaller thing, headspace is something that you forget about, and you will regularly bash your head off of here. But once you're in, you can stand up nice and tall. So in here, we've got storage compartments at the top, which that just kind of houses perfumes, just stuff that we use quite a lot, and that just clips in there. On the other side, we have another storage unit like that, and this is where we keep our washing up liquid, toothpaste, things like that as well, which is, yeah, pretty good. That's the light that I was describing earlier. Like I said, we don't use those very often, so we have just stuck on little LED lights, just because we don't use them that often. This is it's a speaker for when you're in the shower. Not used it yet, but it's probably a good idea, especially in the summer when you can have your tunes on and stuff. So yeah, we do have a collapsible sink in here. Dan's mom got us that. It's one of the best things ever. We use that for a lot of stuff, and if we're not using it, we can literally collapse it down. The shower and how the water works here is very powerful. So it will come out like this. You can shower yourself down like that. It has got this here like that, so you can have it like that and crouch down. But the water pressure is literally amazing. It's better than most house ones. So yeah, we're very grateful for that. We did discuss not having a bathroom when we moved out of house, but then decided you always need things like that. So yeah. And here, what else we got? We've just got this for a bit of privacy. Even though it's tinted at the back, it just keeps the water off the back to help with condensation and mold, because obviously that can be quite an issue in a van. Here we've just bought little pockets, and that's literally to put toilet rolls in and just little bits that you have in the bathroom that can fly around. The floor, even though we've got a rug in here, when we have a shower we will take that out and we will put that there, and then you can have a shower and then wipe that down after. In this cupboard here, this is where we keep cleaning products. We have extra water in here as well, and the cat litter and stuff like that, and the blue and the pink for the toilet, very important. So we keep all that bulky stuff in here. I'm still downsizing in clothes, and I was keeping them at the top. Too much clothes, so I had to downsize again and again and again. I am now proudly the owner of one cupboard, and in here is all my clothes, and just underneath is where the water pump is as well for our hot water. The clothes don't actually get damp, nothing can touch it, so it doesn't get mouldy or anything like that. So very, very pleased with that, and it's a good way to use quite a large cupboard. It's a bit out of the way, a bit annoying, but it's better than the amount I had before. On this side we've got the Thetford toilet as well. We do have a cat litter tray which we do place down for when we are driving. It's got a little thing here so you can have your toilet roll in, and you can also attach it on the side there. We hang our towels up just here, and we have a nice ventilation system here so it doesn't get too steamy and too condensation-y. So yeah, and that's our bathroom. So this is the bed. We've just taken all this stuff out so you can see how this works, because in a lot of hiaces I think they have this kind of thing going on, so it's always nice to see how big it actually is. So what you would do is you would pull it out. Is that quite far? I'll just leave that. And it will stop here on the stopper, so you're not going to run out, and that creates the other bed. Now, for climbing in and out, for two of us, we thought it was a bit much. However, for one person, it's right. Voila! You're in bed. It is actually quite nice for one person. When I wasn't very well and we were travelling through Wales, I slept up here so the guys could have space down in the bottom. They were playing card games. I had a nice view over the reservoir, and I could nap. So yeah, it was really good. Now, getting out, that's the fun bit. So hopefully stuff doesn't go flying. I don't know if it's going to be more gracious getting out than in, probably not. So you do a little bit of a twist, and then you're on here, and wonky hat, you're down. And that's that, and then you literally push it up and then put it back. And so to push it back, you literally just push it back and it will slide back into position. As you can see, that is a lot of storage, so we could have that open all the time and store all our stuff up there, but we like having the headroom. We're not really tall, but yeah.
Okay.
So this is how fast it is to make the bed. This is why we decided not to use this, because realistically it doesn't take that long. Here we go. Voila! One made bed, one happy cat. What more do you need?
Yeah.
Yeah, another good thing about this is when you've got that lovely view and you're not quite ready to get out because it's freezing, you can just click it up and sit here like so and just enjoy the view. Sometimes if I'm here on my own while Dan's at work, I will just have this out and still have this part so I can walk around. Yeah, it's just a very good lazy day in bed if you wanted to. This is where all the magic happens. This is where all the cooking happens. When you move from a house to a van, it's quite hard to adjust to not actually have an oven, but it's quite surprising what you can do on just 2 hobs. So we are very grateful to have this. We didn't actually have this in the van when we bought it. It was an extra seat here, and it was just a surface space there, and we were suggested that we could get a camp cooker kind of thing to go on top, but we wanted something permanent, so we asked if we could have this put in, and had all this unit changed, which has been so handy. The other side here is a fully working sink. However, we don't tend to use the sink. We use it mainly for our kettle and more candle stuff. But it does work, the water does come out of it, you could wash up in it, you could use it, but when I am cooking and stuff, I prefer to just have it down, put things in there, and we wash up actually in the bathroom, because there's 2 of us, one will wash up, one will stand here, and it just works, so that's what we do. So yeah, and you can get nice and toasty. This, as well as being our bedroom, our living area, our chill out area, is also our dining room essentially, and we have a very handy, the cat doesn't like it, I don't know why, but every time we go out it runs away. He's like, no, not the table. Anyway, it literally just clips out and it slots in here like this. You clip it in so it doesn't slide about, and yeah, you can do some work on here, eat your tea on here, chill out on here, or you can push it back if you're watching a film, and we can both sit here, have our feet up, and yeah, have a bit more surface space. Another good thing with this is, I don't know if they did this intentionally, but you can actually have the whole of the bed out like I just showed you and still have this table out. It fits in the gap, so it is marvellous if you are having a very lazy day. Yeah, we love it though, and it's so quick, so easy, and yeah, it's amazing how one space can be so many rooms. Thank you so much for watching our video. We hope to do some more, and if you like us, hit the follow button, subscribe, and you can come along our journey.